Before we start the movie, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss any of our new uploads. And don't forget to follow us on Facebook, you'll find the link in the description box. The movie begins with a shy girl named Melissa, who lives with her mother, Daria, and her grandmother, Elvira, whose health has badly deteriorated and who is constantly tired from heavy smoking. It becomes clear that Melissa's relationship with her mother is strained, unlike her strong bond with her grandmother, whom she considers the closest person in her life. One day, Melissa is overjoyed because Daniel, the most popular and wealthiest boy at school, invites her to a party at his house. Melissa has secretly loved Daniel for a long time, and she is madly infatuated with him. She attends the party with her friend Manuela, but because of her shyness, she can't talk to him. During the party, a boy playfully pushes her into the swimming pool, but it turns out she can't swim, and she starts drowning. Daniel immediately jumps into the water and saves her, then takes her to the backyard. When he asks about her family, she tells him she lives with her mother and grandmother, while her father is an engineer who is always abroad. During their talk, Daniel realizes that Melissa likes him, so he seizes the opportunity and kisses her. After leaving her, Melissa feels deeply upset, thinking she has lowered her dignity. As days pass, Daniel completely forgets about Melissa and doesn't even bother to call her, yet she remains hopelessly in love with him. When school resumes after the holiday, Melissa tries to get his attention, but all her efforts fail. One day, she and Manuela go to a bar, where she unexpectedly runs into Daniel. As soon as he sees her, he approaches and introduces her to his friends, which makes Melissa overjoyed. Later, he takes her to his house, seduces her, and she gives in to him. In that moment, she confesses her love, but Daniel cruelly mocks her and abandons her. This heartbreak makes Melissa decide to change completely, to abandon her innocence and become just as narcissistic as Daniel, believing that's the only way she can be happy. Meanwhile, her family decides to place her grandmother in a care home as her health worsens, which devastates Melissa as she says goodbye. After returning home, Daria tries to talk to her, but Melissa is too angry and refuses to speak. The next day, determined to change, she goes with Manuela to a cafe. Pointing at a stranger from afar, she lures him over, only to abruptly walk away, trying to prove to Manuela that she has truly changed. A few days later, Elvira comes home for Christmas. When she sees Melissa, she immediately senses something is wrong and tells Daria her concerns, but Daria brushes it off as nothing unusual. Soon after, Melissa gets a call from Daniel, who invites her to his house, claiming he has a surprise for her. Despite all the humiliation she has suffered from him, she goes. When she arrives, Daniel seduces her and asks her to close her eyes. Suddenly, she is shocked to find that it is Daniel's friend kissing her instead. It turns out they both want to be with her at the same time. At first, Melissa wants to leave, but then she suddenly changes her mind and goes along with it, just to prove to Daniel that he no longer matters to her. Later, we see Melissa carrying her notebook, where she writes down everything that happens in her life. Over time, her friend Manuela discovers what Melissa is doing and tries to advise her, but Melissa ignores her warnings. One day, a classmate snatches the notebook and begins reading aloud in front of everyone. The entire class learns all of Melissa's secrets, including her relationships with boys. Enraged, Melissa grabs the notebook back and accuses Manuela of causing the scandal, cutting ties with her completely. The next day, in order to prove to everyone that she was strong and that nothing had affected her, Melissa began changing her style of clothing, wearing bolder outfits than before. A few days later, Manuela came to make peace with her, but Melissa ignored her and walked away. At that time, a boy named Marco, Melissa's classmate, appeared. It turned out that he had loved her for a long time but never had the courage to confess. That day, he finally gathered his courage and approached her, but just then Daniel called her. Distracted, she left Marco and walked away. Soon after, Arnaldo, Daniel's friend, came to Melissa and told her he wanted her. When she went with him, he asked her to cover her eyes because he had prepared a surprise. As soon as she did, she discovered that he had brought 4 of his friends to have a group encounter with her. Despite the shocking situation, Melissa did not resist and allowed them to do as they wished. The next day, the news spread across the school, and everyone learned the truth about Melissa. This pushed her to create a profile on a dating site, where she started meeting and going out with more boys. Meanwhile, Daria, Melissa's mother, received a call from the care home, telling her that her mother's condition had worsened and she needed to come quickly. Daria searched for Melissa but couldn't find her. Then she came across her notebook and took it with her to the nursing home. Upon arriving and reading the notebook, she was shocked to discover all of her daughter's secrets. At that very moment, someone came to inform her that her mother had passed away. Daria collapsed, sobbing in grief. Later, Melissa returned home and found her mother sitting in her room. There, Daria told her about her grandmother's death, and Melissa broke down in tears as well. Looking at her daughter's clothes, Daria realized where she had been. She then showed her the notebook and asked if everything written in it was true. When Melissa confessed to everything she had done, they sat together, crying. Daria apologized for not paying enough attention to her and promised to make it up to her from that day forward. As time went on, Melissa slowly returned to her old self and reconciled with her friend Manuela. On the day exam results were released, a fight broke out between Arnaldo and Daniel after Arnaldo learned that Daniel was involved with his girlfriend. At that moment, Melissa and Manuela were passing by. When Daniel tried to stop Melissa, she ignored him and walked away without caring. She then went to check her results and ran into Marco, who confessed he had failed and would leave the school to join an art academy. After admitting his love for her, he showed her several sketches he had drawn of her in his notebook. This made Melissa very happy, and she asked him to draw her once again. After he finished, she went to him and hugged him. After Marco left, Daniel came to Melissa and invited her to a party at his house. Though she refused at first, she eventually changed her mind and agreed. That night, at the party, she saw Daniel and his friends completely drunk. She went to the backyard and jumped into the swimming pool. The others warned her since she couldn't swim, but she ignored them and dived into the water. Moments later, Melissa was overjoyed when she realized she had learned how to swim. Some time later, we see Melissa with her mother Daria placing flowers on Elvira's grave. Daria embraces her daughter in a scene showing that their bond has become stronger and deeper than ever before. And with that, the movie ends. If you enjoyed the movie, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss any of our new uploads.